In the US in the last few hours, when right now receiving news of another heartbreaking incident taking place, this time in Queens on the East Coast in New York. We're learning that at least 11 people were shot at. We're learning this possibly took place in a nightclub in Queens. But to bring us more details, we'll have a reporter joining us in just a second. These are the initial details that we have coming in. A mass shooting taking place at Amazura nightclub in Queens. All of this taking place late on Wednesday. But we'll just wait for reporters to join us to bring us a little bit more context. Queens is located slightly out of Manhattan. It's one of the boroughs similar to, for example, Brooklyn or Harlem. They are located towards the outer parts of New York City. But let's just look over to our colleague Akanksha Swaroop to bring us more details. Akanksha, shocking details coming in right now. We just shared with our audiences 11 people shot at in Queens. In general, shooting incidents are rarer on the East Coast, particularly in New York. There are stricter gun laws there. Can you just bring us more context? What do we know?
Right. We cannot segregate the fact it happens on a day, Toya, when we've already witnessed two other attacks. One of them has already been established as a terror incident, which was in New Orleans, where 15 people have been declared dead. The second has been a Tesla truck explosion in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. And this is a third incident that's taken place. Whether or not these three incidents are interconnected is something we'll have to await a confirmation on from the FBI. But as of now, as you rightly highlighted, that 11 people had been shot at in that nightclub in Queens. And as you rightly mentioned, yes, Queens is one of the boroughs which is densely populated. Till 2013, it reported approximately 47% of immigrant population. Many of them have been reportedly undocumented as well. Is this going to be yet another incident which has been orchestrated by an illegal immigrant or by an immigrant? We do not know as of now, but deeply shocking because remember, both Brooklyn and even Queens are densely populated boroughs in New York City. Brooklyn and Queens, both of them in fact document close to 60% of the immigrant population in New York City. But as we've also been highlighting, that the first incident that took place in New Orleans, the second being in Vegas, and now the third one being reported from one of these boroughs in New York City, goes on to indicate the gravity of these three incidents. Whether or not all three of them are terror incidents, we'll have to await confirmation on that. But the first one, the one in New Orleans, has already been established as a terror incident. Toya.
Thank you, Akanksha, for bringing us those details. We continue to focus on these three incidents, one of which, as we've told you a little while earlier, the one that took place in New Orleans that resulted in the deaths of multiple people. In that incident in particular, the FBI is saying that the flag of the Islamic State was found in the truck that was rammed into the crowd. So there they are saying that they are investigating it as a terrorist incident. As my colleague Akanksha just highlighted, the other two incidents, one of which has just taken place a few moments ago, details are still very much incoming. This incident taking place in Queens. All three of these are being investigated, but whether these three are related, particularly this most recent attack, one that's taken place in New York, whether it is related to the two other incidents, that obviously has yet to be confirmed. The NYPD has not publicly released who they are looking at as a suspect in this entire story. As we told you, this is extremely initial. It has just broken as of just a few moments ago, so details are still coming in. But three separate incidents that we are reporting right now. Two taking place on one side of the United States. You've got one, as we've told you, taking place in New Orleans, the other taking place in Las Vegas, and this third incident that's taking place in Queens, a little outside Manhattan at a nightclub. Those are the initial details we're receiving, but we'll of course confirm more details to you on this story. Another attack taking place in the United States, this one resulting in 11 people shot at. Again, we're not confirming 11 deaths, we're saying 11 people have been shot at within Queens in New York. This investigation at a more initial stage on the East Coast. Also, all three coming just a few days before the inauguration of the new US President Donald Trump. He'll be the incoming president in just a few weeks from now. As we told you already, former US President now, he will be the former US President as he steps down. The US President Joe Biden has issued a statement. He has said that the incident that took place in New Orleans is being investigated as a terrorist attack. Now, my colleague Akanksha Swaroop, who just provided us with all of those details, will be taking this next news show forward. Do continue to watch us.